My name is Kei Worry, and I am indeed a speech-language pathologist. And I'm so honored to be here with all of you. I'm here to talk about something deceptively simple. I'm here to talk about your breath and your voice. The breath and the voice is something that most of us have been with since the moment that we were born. And most of us don't recognize its power until it's lost. My personal relationship with my voice, I think, started in about 1978. I was born in 74. I was about 3 or 4 years old. And I was at my hoikuen, which means nursery school in Japanese. And I was getting my daily beat down because I did get beat up every day. And I had fallen to the ground that day because I got hit so hard. And I remember lying there. This moment is so vivid. I saw all these little feet surrounding me, and everybody was chanting, "Gaijin, gaijin, gaijin." Gaijin in Japanese, I don't know if any of you speak Japanese. Anybody? No? It means foreigner. And literally, it means outside person. Omae kaere. These 3-year-olds are telling me, foreigner, go home. And I'm lying there thinking, "Doko ni ikeba ii no? Where am I supposed to go? This is where I'm from." One more swift kick to my head, and my parents told me that I was asleep for a week. Nowadays, we call that a coma. And then after that, I never had to go back to that school again, thank God. So then my parents moved all the way to eastern Japan, and there was a city there called Tokyo. You may have heard of it. It is the capital of Japan, and they found this extraordinary school called the American School in Japan. And the reason why we went there is because there was a lot of kids in this school who looked like me. They were half Japanese and half something else. My best friend growing up was half Japanese, half Italian. I had friends who were half Pakistani, half Japanese, half Indian, half Japanese, half Israeli, half Japanese. And the crazy thing is that the same thing happened there. I didn't speak English at the time. I had gone to the playground and I weaseled my way in, and you've probably all done this, into this group of girls, and they were laughing, and I was just pretending I was doing the same thing, and we all somehow migrated to the girls' bathroom. And then we had brought one of the girls' little brother with us. His name was Chad. So exotic, you know? We bring this kid in. I don't know what we're doing with this boy, but I'm pretending that I'm one of them. And this third grader, Kristen, looks at me dead in the eyes, and she says, "You're not one of us." That moment is the moment my small voice was born. That was the moment I realized my voice is something I have to protect, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to blend in. So since that day on, I actually perfected perfection. I don't know if you grew up here, but there was this thing called Esprit and Benetton that everybody wore, right? We don't have these in Japan, but I had to figure out how to get it. So I stole them. I would iron this Esprit Aqua sweatshirt every day so that it would look good when I went to school. I had to blend in. I'd been playing tennis since I was 3 years old. I dreamed of becoming Chris Evert, the blonde tennis player. My friend Heidi asked me to try out for the cheerleading squad. I'm Japanese. I don't know what that is. I went with her, and I made it, and she didn't. Whoa. Thanks. And that was the end of my tennis career. I stopped playing tennis until like 2 years ago. But then I became a cheerleader, and you better believe I was so well protected. Nobody messed with me. Nobody told me to leave. I became invisible, and it was amazing. Some of you may be like that, or you may know someone like that. So after that, I decided that I was going to make a living out of this, and I decided to go be a professional actress. Not because I wanted to be seen, or not because I wanted attention. I'd had enough of that. What I wanted was to perfect the art of disappearance. I've been doing that every day since I was born anyway, so why not make a living at it? So I went to NYU in New York City, and I was accepted into their acting conservatory called, it's part of something called the Tisch School of the Arts. I went into what's called experimental theater wing. I actually went to go into avant-garde theater to become invisible. And the thing that was most amazing about it was actually not so much the school. It was great. They taught me how to act. I did it for 10 years. But living in New York City was the complete opposite of everything that I have experienced in my life. In New York, you are super loud and completely invisible. The complete opposite of everything I had experienced living in Japan. So that was extraordinary. And I did that. I did acting, I did theater, I did that for about 10 years. And after a while, I got a little old working in show business. You're always in a hustle, right? And so I decided to become a speech language pathologist. I wanted to do something that was a little bit more altruistic. I moved out to California. I got my master's degree in speech language pathology, and I started my career over really close by at Santa Clara Valley Medical Center, where I worked on the brain injury and general rehab unit. What that means is people with brain injuries would come to see me, right? Gunshot wounds to the head, traumatic brain injuries, anoxia, hangings, burns, strokes, brain cancers. It's pretty serious stuff. And then from there, I started working all over the hospital. Speech therapists really go into the emergency room. We do, because the patient needs to talk. We need to know what happened to them. They also need to swallow, which is a whole other part of my line of work that I'm not going to get into today. But I worked everywhere from burns to everywhere through outpatient clinics, and I did the same thing at El Camino Hospital in Mountain View. I did the same thing at Stanford Hospital. And when I was out Stanford last year in February, I had just gotten divorced a couple years ago, this office opened up next to my house. This is the office where my ex-husband and I had been going to marriage counseling. And it became available, and it was in my price range, and I felt like, okay, all right, I got it, I'm gonna take it. And that's how I started my own practice. So, thank you. So now I have my own practice. That girl that everybody told to shut up is now living in California, in Los Altos, with an office teaching people how to speak. Thank you so much, thank you. It's really cool. And in my line of work, I get to work with all sorts of people. The youngest patient I've ever had was a person who was born at 31 weeks gestation, and that's when I started working with him, right? Yeah, I mean, not for speech, obviously. When you're premature, I'm working with them on swallowing. The oldest patient I had was in their hundreds, usually stroke or dementia. And then everybody in between. People like you, I work with business executives who want to acquire maybe a little bit more of an Americanized accent. I work with fifth graders who are working on their R's. I see a lot of patients living with Parkinson's disease in their 60s and 70s whose families can no longer hear them. This is the thing about working with older adults. I mean, the same thing applies to kids too, but the moment you are not understood is the moment you lose your autonomy, because somebody else needs to step in and make decisions for you. So it is actually, your life actually depends on your ability to be understood. And that is why I do what I do. I absolutely love what I do. And so what I'd like to do is I'd like you to be able to walk away with 3 things that you can hang on to today and how you can be a more effective speaker. And the key is, it's actually not about you at all. It's actually, number 1, it is all about your communication partner. You never speak into a vacuum. I mean, some people do. They usually, live under a bridge. But you always have a communication partner. It doesn't matter if you're sending a text. It doesn't matter if you're having a phone conversation. You're speaking to another brain. So human's voice and speech is very simple. It is exhalation. We all take a breath, and then we exhale, right? So the air comes out through our lungs, it comes through our trachea, through our larynx, it's your throat. There's 2 little vocal folds in there that the air passes through. You phonate, and that air comes out through your mouth, and you're able to make sound. As humans, we make 2 sounds. I don't care what language you're speaking, that's it. Oh, I don't know what clicks are, but. So you make vowels and you make consonants. Vowels are unobstructed air. It's air that you exhale and you're able to say, I'm getting goosebumps. All right, so when you do that, can somebody tell me, what do you feel? What do you feel inside of your body when you say that? Vibrations, yeah. Okay, now everybody try this. Say, E. That feels different, right? Yeah. What's happening there? Anybody? E. What's happening to your tongue? E. The sides of your tongue are actually touching the sides of the roof of your mouth, right? And the middle is open, right? There are actually many different types of vowels. In English, there's well over 20 vowels that are actually used in speech. We write about 5 of them. I guess why sometimes. But we actually have many, many vowels. And then we have consonants. Consonants are when the air comes through and it becomes obstructed. P, G, M, L. Some kind of oral structure interrupts that airflow, and that is a consonant. That's the whole thing. For people who speak English, I brought these glasses up because it's my security blanket, but also I wanted to use it. So for people who speak English, we have agreed over the centuries that the sounds G, L, A, S, Z means this, these things that you look through. These are glasses. I'm going to take these glasses over to Japan, and in Japan, these are called me, ga, ne. Totally different sound, right? Now we're going to go over to France, and then we're going to call these lunettes. Totally different consonants and vowels. But that's what those people have agreed that means, and that is language. And so when you are speaking, you must identify what that person's language is. You got to lock in to what it is that they're speaking. And that brings me to number 2. Number 2, your voice is your identity, right? But Kei, I have an accent. Well, yeah, we all have accents. English is spoken by over 1 billion people. Sorry, England. You don't own English. You gave that up with colonialization, right? English is spoken by so many people. And so yes, people do come to me because they want to learn a more Americanized accent. They talk to me about wanting to lose their accent. And that's the first thing I say is absolutely not. Do not lose your accent because it is what makes you, you. You have to be unique. You have to be memorable. People have to remember you because they're busy thinking about something else when they're talking to you. So your accent, your accent is so valuable, right? And one thing you have to remember not to do is to mask your voice. A lot of people, and I hate to use the word woman because it's a bit loaded in my industry right now, gender, but I will say, I do have a lot of people who come and speak to me because they like to lower their pitch when they're speaking at work, because it makes them feel like they're more authoritative. Hello, Elizabeth Holmes, right? The problem with that is that it can lead to damage and injury. I come from Japan. Have any of you ever been to Japan? Right. いらっしゃいませ。こちらへどうぞ. You better believe that woman does not talk to her kids like that. My mom didn't. I didn't. But this vocal mask can be very harmful if you abuse it. And those are the people who come to see me. And that leads me to the third point that I'd like to have to share with you today, is that your voice is actually an instrument. You sleep with it. It's like your violin. So you have to take really good care of it. If you're going to speak out in public, you better warm that up. I know none of you are actors, but you've all gone to see a play, right? Yeah. Who's been to Broadway? What time does the show start? What time is curtain? 8, yes, thank you. It's 8 o'clock. You know what time actors load in? 6:30 by contract. But you can go at 6. And if you go into any theater at like 7 p.m., this is all you're going to hear. Those actors are warming up their voices for an hour and a half for a 2-hour show where other people are speaking too. They're not speaking the whole time. Yeah, your voice, your instrument deserves a warm-up. So I wasn't sure why Marina asked me to come here today. I don't think I'm special. Thank you. There's a lot of speech pathologists and really famous speech pathologists that I know with PhDs, written doctorates, they're published in really famous medical journals. I'm not. But I think she asked me to come here to speak to you today because I am somebody who did not have a voice. And I am somebody who learned to speak, and now I am somebody who teaches people how to use theirs. So I'd really like you to listen to what these remarkable women have to say to you today, because you are actually also remarkable. Your voice is not small. Your voice is not ordinary. It is a culmination of your life experience. And the thing that's so amazing about the human voice, it is not an accident. You actually created it, whether under circumstance you wanted or not. But what that means is that you can also change it by coming to talk to someone like me. Here's the thing, okay? Your voice is yours. The world does not need a perfect, flawless Instagram voice. What it needs is your voice. So please use it and share it with us.